Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm ProbablyAwake. Today we are going to be talking about layering basses specifically with some type of harsh synth lead or something along those lines. So we talked about this song yesterday. This is how the bass line goes. I'll just solo it so this doesn't have a sub. And this is kind of repeating. There's a little bit of different background element in here to provide a different atmosphere for the second part of the drop. But mostly this sound is about the same thing, and that seems like it's the trend with most modern dubstep / rhythm tracks. So what I wanted to do is, here we have a pattern change. So if we look in here in terms of arrangement, we have the same type of pattern here. There's a little bit like different fills, glitches, whatnot. And then here the pattern switches a little bit. The sub stays the same. The sub is this green MIDI clip up here. The sub stays the same, but the pattern switches up a little bit. And with that, there is that variation in here where the sound switches up. It's a little bit of a different feel for the second part, and then with this introduced atmosphere, it provides a little bit of a different feel in that way as well. However, when you're listening to this for 26 seconds, however long this drop is, where it's the same sound, you kind of get tired of it. You want to add something different. So often what I do is I'll go in here, I'll open up a Serum patch, and I'll initialize it, and then I'll just start building something that could go over my drop bass. So for example, let's just go ahead and solo the drop bass. And then what I'll do is I'll just start working and messing around with parameters. So for example, this is just a detuned saw wave. It has a little bit on the pitch, the coarse pitch, that's just going down. I believe on the effects we have some dimension, some distortion. Again, I really like this diode. I talked about that yesterday. It just makes the sound really dirty. Phaser, chorus, anything to kind of detune the sound, a little bit of multiband compression to bring it back up to a good level. Reverb, EQ, nothing too special here, but without that layer on it, we have the original sound again. But if we add the layer, it makes the song sound a lot different than just this final half. And this is also being modulated by that little altar boy we talked about yesterday that is modulating the pitch up and down throughout the drop. What I want to do is go ahead and let's open up a new Serum patch to show you how I go about doing this. I'm just going to go ahead and copy around this same MIDI. I'm going to drag a new instance of Serum in here, and then we'll go ahead and start building a layer for the bass that makes it, you know, sound a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and just solo this, just a basic saw wave, and then what I'll do, most likely more often than not, what I'll do is I'll go into the unison and then detune it enough to where it's going to fit in that harshness that I'm looking for. So not super detuned, but pretty detuned where it's still holding the same key that we're playing. And then probably what I'll do is I'll go into FX, hyperdimension, distortion. Again, I like that diode. So how harshly that affects is in comparison to just tube. I personally like that a lot better. I'll probably add a phaser, add some compression, maybe a little bit of delay. Maybe something like that. Add some reverb. I'll probably do that before the delay though. Maybe turn that a little bit. EQ, we'll go ahead and take out all the low end. And then probably no filter. But that would be probably the bass sound. It's pretty easy to make something like that. You can always add a little bit more unison. And then I just like to drag this LFO to the course, and then I will shift this over. Draw out a shape, probably something like that. And then maybe a little bit less pronounced. And that's probably pretty similar to what we have here. So So it looks like this one actually has an LFO on it up here. But yeah, just pretty basic. It definitely adds a lot of variation, and it's pretty easy to just go in here and make, and then you have some type of pitched element to layer. That way this second part of the drop still sounds interesting, and you're able to keep the listener hooked for a little bit longer. So with that being said, hopefully this is a tip to help you guys out. Thank you for checking out the videos. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you in the next one.